It seems like it was a quite positive meeting between the African nations and the president. What are some of the key highlights?
Well, I don't know if it was positive or it was just a neutral meeting, but just listening to the African leaders speak, it felt like they had all been well briefed and well prepped by the team, leader after leader. You could get a sense that they were kind of reading from the same script. First, it was President Donald Trump, then second, pitch challenges as an investment opportunity to the U.S., and then finish by praising Trump again and reinforcing the fact that America is a very important ally to the region and the African continent. And with the big boys missing on the table, Nigeria and South Africa, one couldn't help but wonder why these five countries, they have a combined GDP of only $75 billion. But when you look keenly, you realize that these are coastal countries that sit on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, and they also have access to critical and rare earth minerals that are very necessary for technological advancements. They go into chips and semiconductors, and they were pitching this to the U.S. and say, you need access and we need investment in exchange. Gabon went a step further, threw a spanner in the wheel and said, we just don't want investment. We want autonomy of our minerals. We want to be able to process them, add value, grow our economy, and create jobs for the young people. And in exchange, we want investment to develop electricity, about 8 to 10 gigawatts. But what you're getting will be that more and more young people will have less incentive to cross the Atlantic and come to the U.S., which has been a pain point for the country. President Donald Trump kept his speech very, very brief, saying that Africa has massive potential and saying he wants to build a new friendship with Africa, but this is deeply rooted in need. They want to reduce their reliance on China, who have access and they are producers of these rare earth minerals, but then they use it for geopolitical leverage. Outside of that, very little promises made, just a slight hint that these African countries could be exempted from tariffs.
Okay, yeah, he's calling them friends of mine now. What does this visit tell us? That is it enough then to solidify U.S. as a partner in West Africa, or just a starting point?
We could say it's a starting point. It went a little bit better than they had expected, but not exactly what they had hoped for. During this meeting, we saw the emotional beats that these leaders were trying to make with Donald Trump hit a wall. The president of Senegal tried to invite President Donald Trump to come and play golf in Senegal, just 6 hours away. Trump shut it down, said 6 hours to just go and play golf is such a long journey to me. There were also remarks that were not really good for the palate, including commending the president of Liberia for speaking English, but also taking a jab at the other leaders on the table, saying they can't speak English as well as that president, ignoring the fact that some of these countries are Francophone countries and French is their national language. While they didn't have the same dress down that President Cyril Ramaphosa had, they also left with no definite goodies. And so the trip back home is going to be very interesting. And these are countries that are being courted by China, Middle East, so they are definitely going to keep their options open.